Hello everybody, it's Alison from digiteachonline.com. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about everything that is teaching online, tech online, and becoming a teacher online, or even a teacherpreneur with your own online teaching business. Today I'm going to show you the new benefits of the latest update to Manycam 7.8. Now, if you don't know what Manycam is, shame on you, but I'm going to leave a little link up here where you can see a full tutorial for beginners, so how you install it and all the rest of it. But let's get straight to the new benefits. So you can download this or get the update if you like directly from the Manycam site, manycam.com. So there's a little idea of some of the things you can do. So you can stream, you can create videos, but it's really great for online teaching because it has lots of effects which can be very, very useful. However, I use Manycam mainly to teach in my own English company where I teach adults English, and one of the best benefits I love with this is that it has a whiteboard. It already had a whiteboard in Manycam. You could superimpose layers, but now they have a full one, and I'm going to show you a lot of all the different things that it has. So here you go, you just download the Manycam 7.8 and it does all sorts of wonderful things. So let's get straight to it. Okay, if you already use Manycam, you're instantly going to see right at the top here, you've got like the crop tool. That's new, so you can crop things. But what I want you to do is go over to the top right-hand corner up here, where you have the overlay mode, and I want you to click on that. Okay, so this is going to bring up the new features. So already you get two new bars. You get this main one here, and you get this black floating bar as well on the top. Now, first of all, let me show you one of the cool things I really, really like is if you go down to the bottom of the big white bar and you click on video, I can make myself smaller or bigger, and I can move myself all around my desktop. Now this can be really useful when you're doing lives, or even when you are actually teaching with a PowerPoint or recording with a PowerPoint or something like that. And depending on whatever your PowerPoint slide is, you might want to put yourself at the bottom on one slide and at the top on another. Well, you can't move around like that when you're recording screen with QuickTime or anything else. So this is really, really cool. But if you can you see here, I'm in the circle at the bottom right, you've got background. If you click on that, I've got my hair up, so I look like a little bit noob. So it's really cool because it takes your background away. I'm not using my green screen. My green screen's over there, so I'm not using my green screen. So that isn't too bad. And you can also do like a rectangular or square shape and take away your backing as well, like that. So that's really useful. However, that isn't the only thing that it does. It also has, up at the top here, this really cool whiteboard feature, which I'm really, really, really excited about. And to be honest with you, it did really need this. So if you click on there, this brings up a whiteboard, which is great. I'm just going to move myself from here, if I may, if I can. Okay, so you can draw, so that's already great. You can draw on here, you can do all sorts of drawing, so that's great. So this is pretty much like Zoom, so that's really good. And you can also type. Manycam is great. But what I really like is you can type here, and then if I click, I can type down here. And it's not too much of a pain in the neck, whereas when you're doing a lesson and you're only using Zoom, I don't know about anybody else, but the annotation bar and the actual black bar kind of, it moves and it kind of disappears. It's visible, it's not visible. And sometimes when I'm teaching online or doing a seminar or something like that, I might have 6 different screens open on my desktop, and if I've got this teeny black thing that just keeps disappearing and I have to keep moving all of my windows around, it can get a little bit tricky and a little bit frustrating. So I'm really pleased that this stays firmly pinned to the desktop. You can obviously use the little poo bell there, the little bin, to get rid of everything. And here you can open a file, so you can upload a file, and you can even add, if I go down to the white bar, you can start recording, but you can also add media as well from here, so that's great. I like the fact that you can change the size as well. So let's just say you wanted it really, really big. You could do your entire do your entire desktop, or if you're using this in addition to PowerPoint slides or something like that, you could just have it here and just do maybe explanatory notes or vocabulary lists, or just a mini whiteboard in addition to your main one for key points, frequency words, sentence structures if you're teaching languages. I teach French and I teach English, so I find having your frequency word that you're trying to, or verb, really visible for your students, really, really helpful, whatever age. So I have my juniors I obviously teach French to, they really like that, and it helps them start to recognize the word. And also for my adult students, they really like that too. You can move this around the bar as well, so that's great. You know, you can put the bar wherever you like, but one thing I love is that the bar is just not disappearing, so that's really, really useful. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the other features. So I'm going to put it back up to the top. Now I've just got into the main Manycam window again. So to get in and out of that, it's this little, go up here, this little corner. It's such a tiny overlay mode. So that is how you go in and out of full screen and full mode like this. So the other little function, which is really, really neat, is this crop tool. Now this crop tool can be used just for all sorts of ways. Let me just show you what it does and then you can see. So you click on crop tool and it brings up this extra window, and you can change the corner radius. Can you see how that's changing now? So cool. And you can even change how opaque you want it to be, which could be quite useful. That could be quite fun if you're teaching kids, or some kind of marketing if you're overlaying and things like that. And you've obviously got the other aspects where you can flip yourself around, which kids really like. This is really useful when you're using Manycam. So when you're pointing at an effect or you're pointing at something in a classroom, you are actually pointing at the right thing instead of going like this or getting it in the wrong way. So it's a really useful just a little extra touch. So obviously you can crop as well. So you can crop certain areas. Now, why would you use this? Well, If you are a freelance tutor or you have your own tutoring company like I do, this is really useful. I use this quite a lot when I'm doing, and then I use it for different graphics within my social media. For example, say I have just done a lesson on the present tense, or I've done a lesson on medical English, because I'm doing quite a lot with medical English at the moment. Then I will, quite often I'll introduce the lesson towards the end of the lesson. I'll do some activities where they have to put in the missing verb or the missing phrases or what have you. So at the start of the activity in the whiteboard area, I don't have, I have the word that's missing, but then, so I take a screenshot of that, and that is what I use within my social media sometimes, and then I use that to point to the YouTube video or the post on my website where they can sign up for that class or something like that. So I use it like that. However, you might want to use it to drop into lesson plans. You might want to use it for some kind of evidence or something if you're working for a company and there's been some kind of a problem with something, then you can use it like that. So you can resize the window, so that's really cool as well. For example, I have this annoying line here in my room, which is I just wish it was a pure white wall, but you know, such is life. And you can just apply crop. There we go, and it applies the crop. There we go. So it's really useful. I just think it's such a great feature. And you've got your little menu here where you can save your project, an open project, which is also new. You couldn't do that. Now, why would you want to save a project? Well, you might want to save it and then send it to your students. You might want to save it for yourself for future reference for something. And open project could be really, really useful because you can add extra elements into your screen. So as I said, I've done a full tutorial on this, but if you don't know how to add extra layers, I'm going right down to the far right hand side of the screen now, and you go down to presets. If you click here on presets, this is where you can add your layers. So think of Manycam as like a layering effect machine. So depending on what you want to do, you can add layers. It might be graphics, it might be text, it can be all sorts of things. So you can add an extra layer here, and if you I'm on a Mac, so if you right click, these are all the different options. So you can add in extra cameras if you're recording. You can add in a mobile device, which can be useful if you're doing a talk through on your app or something like that. You can add in images and videos. Now this is new, PowerPoint. You couldn't add in a PowerPoint to the last Manycam. You can now. So, and a PDF. So I think they're trying to knock Zoom out of the window a little bit. I mean, I love Zoom, don't get me wrong. I use it quite a lot for my teaching French. But there are a number of little issues and bugs which are quite annoying when you are teaching live with it. So I think this is really good because when you're teaching live, it's nice to have real seamless switching as you're going through the different parts of your lesson. So there we go. And you obviously have a desktop and all the other things that you can do. So there you go. That was just a really quick walkthrough for you on the new Manycam. I'm also going to leave a little link down below because it's an affiliate link. I mean, I use a Manycam myself as well. But if you haven't yet upgraded to get the studio, which means you don't have the Manycam watermark and you get all these other extra effects too, you get an extra 30% off with the special DigiTeach code. So it's up to you. Or you can just harbor along with the free version, whatever is good for you. Anyway, that's it, and have a lovely day. Happy teaching. Goodbye.